And as always, it's a pleasure to have you here on Joy News and, of course, on the pulse. Now, we are inching very closer to that big announcement coming from the governing New Patriotic Party. But after weeks of speculation, it's now confirmed that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia intends to nominate Dr. Opoku Prempeh as his running mate for the 2024 general elections. The announcement was made to the national officers of the NPP during a pivotal meeting at the party's headquarters in Asylum Dam. Joy News is learning that the nomination is pending final approval by the party's National Council. However, since the report of his selection broke about some few days ago, there's been mixture of reactions ahead of the official announcement. Blessed Suga takes a look at the recent controversy in the following report. We'll bring you that report from Blessed Suga shortly. But, the build-up is on. Now, the latest information is that the National Council of the party will meet on Thursday, and at this meeting, the expectation is that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the Vice President, also the flag bearer of the NPP, will present his choice of running mate to the National Council. If he's successful, then the official announcement will come. Let's understand the process. And of course, Dr. Amache Boateng is a political scientist with the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Also on the line is the national organizer of the NPP, Henry Nana Boakye, also known as Nana B. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Let me start with you, Nana B. So I'm just going through your tweets, or X if you like, about this meeting that was held at the Asylum Dam office of the NPP. You, the General Secretary, and of course, the Vice President. And you came up with a very interesting note accompanying the picture. And I guess it will be something that followers of the Energy Minister will be so much excited about. So tell us about this meeting. How cordial was it?
His Excellency, the Vice President, as part of his consultation leading to the National Council meeting, you report that last week he met the leadership in Parliament, that is the majority side, where he informed them of his intention to nominate Dr. Opoku Prempeh as the running mate. And today, he followed up to the headquarters. He is a leader of the party. Then he met the national officers, where again, he informed us of his intentions to present the Energy Minister, MP for Malaysia South, Dr. Opoku Prempeh, as his running mate. And you are aware that Section 13 is quite clear that such decisions or such nominations will be approved in consultation with the National Council.
Right.
So the General Secretary has also informed council members and then net members of the meeting on Thursday. So Thursday will be meeting. Thursday, His Excellency the Vice President, the leader of the party, will put before council his nominee.
So you will say that this meeting today is actually part of number of consultations the flag bearer is intending to undertake before the meeting on Thursday?
Exactly. I would say that, yes, it's part of it. He settled on the Energy Minister, but he would also want to inform his people. He is the leader. We are working with him. So it was most appropriate that he will come to the headquarters to inform us. And the meeting was very cordial and very, very, very impressed with how His Excellency the Vice President presented his nominee. He gave reasons as to why he chose him. And then the leadership of the New Patriotic Party also pledged our support to His Excellency the Vice President.
And why Dr. Opoku Prempeh, also known as Napo, did you get that information from the Vice President?
Well, yes, as I said, there is no way His Excellency the Vice President would come meet us and then present his nominee without giving the details as to why he settled on him. But then I'm sure that the details will come after Thursday's council meeting, where the General Secretary will address the press and then will give all of these details. But I can confirm that, yes, His Excellency the Vice President today met with the national officers, where he informed us that he intends to nominate Dr. Opoku Prempeh as his running mate.
And so after the meeting, is it the understanding that your group, the NEC, accepted this choice?
No, it is not NEC. NEC is National Executive Committee.
Exactly,
NEC
sorry.
will meet on Thursday. This is national officers.
National officers,
elected
yes.
national officers. Yes. So yes, as I said, after the discussion and all of that, we also pledged our support to His Excellency, the Vice President, also the leader of the New Patriotic Party.
I mean, you've heard commentary, especially from Parliament, the Member of Parliament, Andy Apiakubi. He's raised some reservations about the choice of Dr. Opoku Prempeh as a running mate. I mean, as national organizer of the party, and I must say that so far he's the only person we've heard who is against this choice. How are you hoping that the announcement, if formally made and accepted by council, will get a party and everybody on board towards a common goal?
It will get everybody on board. Let me say that we may have our diverse views on who the person should have been or who the person should be. But you see, we should not take anything away from the leader of the New Patriotic Party. Look, he was the running mate in 2008 elections. He was the running mate in 2012. He was the running mate again in 2016. He's been vice president right from 2016. He was again the running mate, and then he became vice president again after the 2020 elections. So he has deep wealth of experience. We cannot take that away from him. And you don't forget that Elton, immediately he was elected by our party's constitution. If we are not presenting the president as the flag bearer, and then we have a new flag bearer, we should have nominated the running mate long before. Don't forget, he came before council, and then he requested that he wanted to do further deeper consultation. And that was last year, December. So he's done his consultation for almost about 7 months now. So we should not take anything away from His Excellency, the Vice President. He is very experienced. He knows everybody. He knows his weakness. He knows his strength. He knows who the person coming in is going to do that complementary work. He knows everything. And he's searched and he's presented. And I think that we need to respect the leader of the New Patriotic Party. He's very experienced. And as I said, he's been in this position before. And then he's gotten an elevated position now as the leader of the party. So he knows everything. He knows who he will partner to get us the victory. That is the most important thing. All of us may have our diverse views and opinions, but I think that we need to respect the views of His Excellency, the Vice President, the leader of the New Party.
But Nanabi,
yes.
Nanabi, is there more to Dr. Opoku Prempeh beyond the fact that he's from the Ashanti region?
Oh, there's more. I mean, if you ask me now, I would tell you that for me, I would always and any day say that he's the best education minister we've ever had. So for competence, for hard work, team player, dedication to work, very bold, very assertive, you can't take that away from him. I mean, his attitude towards his mandate to execute any time is phenomenal.
There are also concerns.
Sorry?
I was asking about there have been concerns about his temperament and some of the public utterances.
No. He is bold and assertive. And usually people misconstrue people who are bold and assertive as that. He's bold. I keep saying, for somebody to have implemented, led that team, that ministry, to implement BSHS, the level of consultation you do, the negotiation, the level of teamwork, bringing people to make sure it works. And don't forget, immediately we were elected, or immediately we formed the government in 2017. He was tasked by His Excellency the President to make sure he implements it that same year. That same year, he was nominated as and approved as Education Minister. He is the Energy Ministry now. Yes, we've had some challenges, but he's been on top of his work.
Right.
He's somebody who is able to embrace challenges any day, any time. You can't take that away from him. And as I've said, he's bold and assertive. And sometimes people misconstrue that in different ways. But he's bold, he's assertive, his dedication to work is phenomenal, and no one will any day. And that is how come he's won the Minister of the Year award several times.
Right.
He's received a lot of awards. So as for the energy minister, you can't take that away from him. That is it.
Right. So my final question before I let you go. So on Thursday, the Vice President will appear before the council of the party. If his choice is accepted, does it mean that the party will have to organize another parliamentary primaries at Manchester? I know very well that Dr. Opoku Prempeh will move to a very important position as running mate.
Most likely that will happen. But again, that decision will come out from the next meeting on Thursday. But most likely, that will be the natural expectation.
All right. Henry Nanabuache is the national organizer of the NPP. I also have joining me via Zoom is Dr. Amachi Boateng with the KNUSC Political Science Department. Dr. Amachi, you're welcome to the pause here on Joy News.
Having me.
Right. So I'm just going through the statement that came from the General Secretary of the NPP addressed to the members that constitute the National Council, the National Chairperson, the President, the Vice President, and the Presidential Candidate, the Chief of Staff, past Presidents, General Secretary, First National Vice, Second National Third, 2 Deputy General Secretaries, National Treasurer, Party's Parliamentary Leader, National Organizer, the 2 Deputy Organizers, Chairperson of the National Council of Elders, National Women's Organizer, the Deputies, National Youth Organizer, the Deputies, National Coordinator. There's also Regional Chairperson or their representatives, 1 rep from Parliament, 1 rep from the founding members, patrons, sector committees, past National Chairperson, past General Secretaries, and directors at the National Secretariat. Is it just normal, or you found it maybe a new addition, that the flag bearer, Dr. Mamadu Bawumia, has chosen to consult some group within this constitution of council to tell them about his choice?
Actually, let me confess that I'm not particularly familiar with these procedures, as you know, it exists in the NPP. But at least from where we stand, we always come to terms with the fact that the selection is done, you know, with a consultation of the National Council. And of course, the selection goes through a broad consultation, the rank and file of the party, and eventually the flag bearer picks the person that he or she deems, you know, most appropriate to partner him or her. In this particular case, to partner Dr. Bawumia. And I like to believe that this is the established procedure. Constitutional procedures don't change every now and then. So I like to believe that that is the established procedure, and that is exactly what Dr. Bawumia is going through.
But if the National Council is the body that is mandated to hear this choice of a running mate, I mean, is it strange that the other organs are getting to know even before that consideration is put before the National Council?
That's an interesting thing. In a way, you know, you get an impression that it's a foregone conclusion because we are made to understand that, if you like, the National Council also reserves some sort of right to, you know, approve or disapprove of the person, if you like, nominate. But then, like you just asked, once, you know, the person selected is being simply shown to other segments of the party before getting to the National Council, you get an understanding. You get an understanding that, you know, maybe it's a done deal, but I think on the other hand, you know, showing it to the national executives, well, maybe his if you like, going in for their approval, he's going in for their support before he gets to the National Council. It might actually be the case. It might not also necessarily, like I said earlier on, that is a done deal. He might be doing that without necessarily compromising the procedures. Procedures are critical. It might imply that he's going in for their approval, he's going in for their support, and eventually he goes up there to seek that ultimate approval.
Does it raise the issue of uncertainty such that he's lobbying the other organs so that when I put my choice on the table, I'll get the support of these organs that I'm meeting?
Well, I don't want to believe that the broad consultation has addressed this issue of uncertainty. The broad consultation has addressed this issue of uncertainty, and that these might be, although necessary, procedural, if you like, actions to take. But if you like, they are also not just a mere formality, but somehow, I mean, there are things that he has got to do. It's likely that the consultation might have been taking place at the very top. Some of them might have given their word and been part of the people who have participated in the politics of getting the running mate. So eventually, the issue of uncertainty at this time, I'd like to believe that it's not so much anything at all to be bothered about. I don't think the uncertainty is there.
Dr. Kumasi is your base, so let me ask two questions in one, and to find out whether, from a point of view as a political scientist, you've managed to analyze it and possibly come to some conclusion. Why NAPO and why not NAPO?
Dr. Opoku Mensah, a.k.a.
Dr. Opoku Prempeh.
No, Opoku Prempeh, sorry for that, a.k.a. NAPO, is hugely popular in the party in Ashanti region. He's hugely popular. Many people refer to him as a through and through party person. And they talk about it in such a way that at times, makes some of us sort of wonder exactly what is going on behind the scenes. So looking at it from, perspectives of the party in Kumasi, one will not be taken aback at all. He's the person, if this is the major consideration, then he's the person that will come out. He's hugely popular. So the why him is that he's the person that the people here believe should represent them, if you like. Politics, democratic politics is all about representation. And then why not him? It's for the same reason.
Right.
It's for the same reason why him is popular. Why not him? Was it possible to drop him and pick any other person? Obviously, there was a lot to choose from. Dr. Bawumia had a lot on his hands, quality materials. But then at the end of the day, one had to go in for the person that one is very comfortable to work with, the person that one believes will enable him, if you like, address some issues on the ground, especially here in the Ashanti region. So they believe that Dr. Opoku Prempeh, also known as NAPO, has that capacity to handle issues emerging or emanating from Ashanti region.
But then also take a look at this carefully. I mean, over the weekend, the Vice President, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, held a meeting with Dr. Opoku Prempeh. This meeting was also attended by the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bisabu Esiakon, also known as Wontumi. The meeting was called to address any issue between the two. And at the end of the day, they took a photograph together. Now, the relationship between NAPO and Wontumi ahead of this meeting was known to everybody, and it wasn't the best, even though they all come from the Ashanti region. When you elevate that to the national level, you will come to appreciate the fact that NAPO may also not be so popular with a lot of Ghanaians. As we head towards the election, even though he's been able to address the feud that existed between them in the Ashanti region within the context of the party, what about people's perception of him at the national level? Is it a choice that they can easily sell?
Generally speaking, to be an anomaly, if one comes out as an individual who is so loved, by, the people. I mean, everybody loves him. Everybody want to work with him. Everybody has, positive things to say about him. That would be an anomaly. So it's a human thing that, some people simply think that he shouldn't be the person. And that is also a normal manifestation of politics. People like you, others will criticize you. At the end of the day, it should be possible for you to get the numbers to move on. So as it is in the party, the regional chairman also, the political animal has his own preferences. He's an interested actor.
Right.
So obviously had his preferences, and things didn't go that way. And I don't know why things, simply got to levels that were becoming to look ugly. But it's good that at this material moment in time, some sort of understanding, some compromises have been made, some consensus have been built, and that they all looking forward to one thing, the overall interest of the party. And so, yes, like you just said, it's smoking a peace pipe. At the national level, that image is there. And like I was listening to Henry Nana Boachi when he was speaking.
Right.
That's the explanation he was giving, that Napo is assertive, he's a frank matter of fact person, and he speaks his mind. Many people will tell you that people like that are very easy to work with because they lay their cards on the table.
Right.
It should be possible for the party to handle that issue, out there. He's human. If he's made some, public pronouncement that did not, get along well with people, and that becomes the understanding, I'd like to believe that he will handle it. It should be possible even for him to come out and, address the Ghanaian public and let them know that, look, I made a mistake over here. Please forgive me. But then through and through, me, this is what I've been doing all the time. And this, if you like, constitute the political capital and bring it to add to that of what Dr. Baumia has already to make the ticket stronger. It should be possible for the party to address some of these challenges, especially at the national level.
Dr. Amachi, finally, before you go, the party is aiming to win at least more than 75% of the votes in the Ashanti region. The hope is that if they are able to do so, stretch it to even 80%, that will be a done deal for the national elections. To what extent would Napo's, choice galvanize the NPP's base, especially when you have some MPs from the region who are also kicking against this choice?
The issue is not up to Napo. The issue is the economy. The issue is with the Kumasi market shops and stalls that have not been attended to. The issue is with Kumasi people who want their children to get access to jobs with the immigration and other areas, and they have to pay money to do that. That is the claim. And so these are the issues. They are not, things that really have got to do with Dr. Opoku Prempeh. I mean, they are national challenges. They are national challenges. The issue has got to do with the economy, first and foremost. Petrol prices, going up gradually, continuously, and affecting prices in general. So these are the issues.
And these are the issues that we'll deal with as we move towards election 2024. Thank you very much, Dr. Amachi Watson. He is a political scientist with the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and that council meetings on Thursday. However, since reports of Napo's selection broke out, there's been a mixture of reactions ahead of the official announcement on Thursday. Blazer Suga takes a look at the recent controversy in the following report.
Jubilation amongst supporters of Minsha South Member of Parliament Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, who's been nominated by the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, as his running mate. Joy News sources can confirm that the Vice President has already engaged many party stakeholders, indicating his resolve to work with the Energy Minister on the agenda of winning the next general elections. But opinions remain divided over the nomination of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, as some parliamentarians have expressed reservations about his candidature. Notable amongst them is Asante Achim MP Andy Apiakubi, who says Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is not a unifier.
But me, Apiakubi, you can solicit my view on that. If it was for me to choose, I would choose him. I would want somebody who would be open with the people on the ground, who would be able to deliver the votes, and who would also submit to the presidency. We should find somebody who, if the presidential candidate is not there, he will hold the hand of a member of parliament and go and conduct campaign in that member of parliament's constituency. He cannot hold my hand.
As party faithful look forward to the NPP Council resolution on the nomination of the party's vice presidential candidate, the leadership of the NPP is urging loyalists to remain calm in order to preserve the unity of the party. Alexander Apenyomarkin is majority leader in parliament.
We have an election just ahead of us, and we should be mindful of how we express certain views in the public space. Yes, we've all heard matters regarding our ticket, but no decision has been made yet. And so I would want to encourage colleague members of parliament that we are in this together.
Dr. Mahmoud Bamia is expected to table his official nominee before the NPP's council on Thursday, where he will officially notify them about his intention of making Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh his running mate for the 2024 general election.